Peace, family. Hope you guys are keeping your vibrations high and you guys are having a wonderful time out there. That you guys are meditating 3 times a day. You can start with 10-minute sessions, but you want to increase them at least up to 30, and then so on and so forth. Go even higher with it. Go as high as you can. The goal is to separate these negative thoughts from your real ones, the positive thoughts that the ancestors give you, and to never doubt yourself, to know thyself, so that you guys can too walk in your divinity. We're gonna do Hancock. I almost said Hancock 1. I'm like, there's only one movie, but a really good movie. You guys check it out before you get into this decoding. But we're just gonna go ahead and kick it off. So it starts off with they're having a shootout, right? It's the cops chasing these guys. They're having a shootout, right? I don't really know what they did, but it doesn't matter. They're having a real shoot off. Like, they're driving though. So and Hancock sleep. So he sleeps somewhere, wherever the fuck they're at. I think they're in New York. I don't know. I could be completely wrong about that. But yeah, he's over there asleep on a park bench, drunk. So that's where we first meet our hero, Hancock. He's an alcoholic. He's got a lot of issues, like anger issues for one, and he's just real grunt, But nonetheless, is the superhero of this universe. The Superman, so to say. So yeah, it starts off with him sleep on the park bench, passed out. And this kid walks up, and right beside them is a bunch of TVs talking, with the news going, talking about what's going on, downtown or wherever they're at. So the kid, he's trying to wake up Hancock. He's like, "Hey, Hancock, wake up." And Hancock gets up. He's like, "Bad guys?" Hancock looks at him. He's like, "What, you want a cookie or something?" And so kid goes off, and it's just showing how Hancock is. He harasses this one girl. He's just like an asshole, which everybody calls him, and he don't like that word because the truth hurts. That's like the one word to really describe him as he is now. He's an asshole. So he sees the trouble and he flies off, and off rip, you can see how just amazing and incredible he is. He's just doing everything. He's flying, got birds going, he's going past planes and shit, all the way up to he gets to him. And he's a very sucky hero. Like, he's doing more damage than they are. They're shooting at each other, the cops and the bad guys. They're over there shooting each other, but he's flying through billboards and shit trying to get to him. Like, he's just super destructive, right? He finally gets to him. He rips off the fucking back window or whatever, and he gets in the car, and he's talking to him, man. Instead of just handling business, he's like toying with him and shit. And they get to shooting at him, And off rip, we get to see a little bit more of his abilities. He's completely indestructible. That shit doesn't hurt him at all. It doesn't do nothing. Not a scratch. You feel me? It just breaks his glasses. That pisses him off. He fucking shoves his feet through a car and holds it to a stop. And then that could have ended right there. He's a petty superhero too. You feel me? Since they shot his glasses, broke him, he fucking picked the whole car up and he took him to this monument. They're over there screaming at him. He's like, "Put us down, put us down." He's like, "Hey, you broke my glasses." And he said, "I'm sorry, man. Take my Ray-Bans." They're just like, "Oh yeah, we're dead. This dude he done pissed him off. He flying around. He got us all up in the air." Y'all gotta really put yourself in these shoes. I know it's just a movie, but this dude is really flying with these human beings. It's just like he can do whatever he want with them. He ends up thrusting the car through this monument, and it's stuck on the roof of a monument. And that's where we pick up, right? That's where we end off with Hancock. He leaves. He don't even take him out of the car and arrest him or nothing. He's like a real raggedy ass, half-ass superhero. So then we pick up with our other main character, Ray. And this dude is he's like a business marketer. He's trying to market this campaign for this thing I think it's called Have a Heart or something. It's something peaceful. You know, it's like this peaceful movement thing he's got going on, and he's trying to get it like marketed. So he's talking to this medicine company, like this medicine company. They're all sitting at the table, and he's, you know, he's presenting his thesis or whatever, and, you know, they all get to laughing at him because what he wants them to give out free medicine and people to donate their products, which is medicine. He wants them to donate their products for free to people in need to like kick off his campaign. So they're looking at him, they're like, oh yeah, that's not gonna happen, because he wants them to do it for free. He's not like sponsoring it or nothing. He's just like, trust me, bro, it's gonna help, and people are gonna get down with it, and we're gonna get paid off of it, right? So right then and there, it just shows the heart that he has. You know, these are both human beings, right? Everybody in there is human beings, but this one has one hell of a heart. Like, all he wants to do is raise the frequency of the planet. He wants to help the planet, right? And he's sitting here talking to these other human beings, you know, these high execs and shit, and like they're all looking at him like he's crazy. Like, is this gonna bring any money for us? Like, well, you know, what are you talking about? You know, normal shit. But like, for them to show it in a movie, it's just showing his optimistic attitude. Like, he knows this is crazy and shit, like, you know, but he's like, hopefully, like, there are some positive human beings that'll be on board with helping save the world. You know, he's looking big. He ain't looking at, you know, what's already been done, what people think. He has his own mindset, he has his own brain, and he has a good heart. And they're, you know, turning him down. They're like, nah, we're not with that shit. You feel me? You're a crackhead or a crackpot. That's what they call it, for just being optimistic, you know, even though it was an outlandish approach, but it just shows like how good of a heart he has. So yeah, he gets, you know, shunned or whatever, you know, turned down. So he's driving home, and in the midst of him driving home, he gets caught up in traffic, and there's a train coming. He's on the railroad tracks, and the train's coming. He's over here bumping into the car ahead of him, bumping in the car behind him. He's like, hey, man, y'all gotta move, man, this train coming. And then it's so clogged, the traffic's so clogged up, they can't move. And that's what they're telling him. They're like, hey, man, you need to get out the car. We can't move, can't go nowhere. So, you know, he tries to get out the car. His handle breaks, you know, because he's driving a lemon. So his handle breaks. He's like, oh, I should have got that fixed. And then he finally gets the door open, and then he can't get his seatbelt off. So he's stuck in the seatbelt, and he, you know, he still has a little bit of time, but he's so scared that he just says, fuck it, and braces for impact. He's like, you know, a whole train coming. So Hancock, you know, he sees it. He's coming down. He's sitting there knocking on his car. Doom, doom, doom. What are you doing? Like, what the fuck? You still got time to get out. What are you so scared of? Like, you know, because he's looking at this shit from a perspective of a fucking immortal god, you know, because that's what Hancock is. We're going to get into that, though. But, yeah, so he fucking picks the car up and flings it into the other car. Like, remember, he's a shitty hero. He ain't really thinking, you know. His ass probably drunk, you feel me? Like, he digs the car up and like throws it into the other car, and then the fucking train comes and he just fucking like smashes into it, you know, really showcasing his strength and shit. Like, he's real life like Superman. This ain't just no normal street tier nigga. Like, bro, the fucking whole train, it's a full train. Like, this shit goes on for miles, nigga. Like, he just takes that shit head on. So, like, he clogs the whole train. He, like, stops the momentum of it. It gets to collapsing. He makes a huge mess. Like, all the fucking cargo trucks are fucking all over the place. You know, in parts of the train and shit, you know. He completely tears the locomotive up. The head of the train. He completely tears it up. And everybody gets out, and they're all, like, getting on his ass. Like, well, what the fuck was that about, bro? Like, why didn't you just pick the car up? Why didn't you just pick his car up and fly up in the air? You know, because he's been a hero for a long fucking time. He's been heroes for, like, centuries, nigga. Like, because him and Ray end up talking about, like, how he's been a superhero before Ray was born, you know. And he looks at him, he's like, yeah, I don't age. So he's been a hero. These niggas know him, and they know all his abilities and shit. Like, they're like, why the fuck don't you just fly up with the car, as if they could do any better type shit. Like, you feel me? Like, just giving them shit like, nigga, I don't have these abilities, I do. But even they know how to use his shit better than he do. So, like, you know, they get on his ass, and he's just like, yep, talk it up, because he's heard this shit before. You know, he don't give a fuck. You know, he don't give a fuck. He gonna do what he do. He Hancock, nigga. He like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. So bruh gets out the car. Ray, he gets out the car, and he's like, starts defending him. He's like, hey, come on now. He's just saved my life. And he's like, hey, he deserves applause. And he said, he just saved my life. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for him. So, like, you know, he's taking up for Hancock, you know, and he's being honest. Like, he's really happy that he just saved his life. And he sees a lot of potential in him. So he invites him over for dinner. And he invites Hancock over for dinner. Hancock brings the car, and he brings his fucked up car back to the cul-de-sac where he lives in. And he, you know, he throws it down, and he lets down Ray, and they get the going into the house, and he meets the wife and the son. I think the son's name is Aaron, and I think the wife's name is Angel. So he meets Angel and Aaron, and they're sitting down at the table eating spaghetti and meatballs, and off rip you get to see how Hancock, you know, mingles with society, you feel me? But this is more than just that, because he's a black guy at a table full of white people. He's not even saying nothing crazy. Like, he's literally at the table. The only thing crazy he does is, like, if you can call that crazy, because people sip at the table, you feel me? He has his bottle, and he starts filling that shit. He fills the glass up with whatever liquor he's drinking. So, you know, you can call that crazy, but, like, he's talking to Aaron and shit. He's like, "These some good meatballs, boy." And the mom's like, "Aaron, you know, like, because this is how we talk to each other, you feel me? Like, a black household, the dad would say that to the son. He's like, "There's some good meatballs, boy." You know, like, it's just normal banter, you know, amongst us. But, like, to them, that shit is, like, weird or whatever. You know, it's like, what this nigga doing at the table, calling my son boy and shit. Like, you know, it's just some weird shit. You know how, like, because that's the social engineering. We do one thing our way, and then they do another thing their way, you feel me? You know? And apparently that was rude. So she's like, "Aaron." And he's like, "Oh, your mom's talking to you." He's like, "Oh, no, his name is Aaron," because he called him boy. So, you know, and they're just talking to him. Because he's, the boy's getting bullied by some neighborhood kids, right? So he's like giving him fucking defensive strategies. He's like, "You know what you want to do? You want to kick him in his piss pump." And, you know, he's just saying shit like that. Now that's out of pocket. Like, he's encouraging violence to the young boy. Like, and the mom's like, she's had enough of it, because he keeps going, you know. He keeps going. He ends up saying some more vulgar shit. But then she ends up cutting him off. She's like, "You know, not everything has to be solved with brawn," you know, and or whatever. She gets to ranting. You know, she's pissed. She gets to ranting at him. And he's like, "Damn," he said, "this seemed a little personal." And yeah, so off rip, you can tell Angel does not like Hancock, you feel me? She doesn't like him at all. She gets to defending the boy that's bullying her son. She's like, his parents just had a divorce. He's just going through a hard time. He said, "This isn't a man, this is a little boy. You know, you can't just solve every problem with blood and gore," and whatever she said, you feel me? That's how she was saying it. Like, Hancock's just, well, he is violent, but, like, she's acting like he a serial killer. Like, he does have the intent to actually help. You know, he is a superhero, you feel me? So, yeah, he ends up taking this liquor to the bathroom, and he's about to leave, right? He's about to head out, but Ray gives him his card, and he's like, he tells him what he does. He's like, "Hey, I'm a marketer. I market businesses, people, and events." He said, "I want to help change your image," you know? So he slips the card on Hancock's person, and Hancock, you know, he like, because it's the way he, like, presents it. He's like, "Man, you know, people kind of think you're an asshole." He said, "I want to change that." And, you know, Hancock don't like that shit. Like, he think he doing what he do. So, you know, he's reluctant to take the car, but he takes it and he flies off, you know, destroying the street as he goes. So, you know, I think he comes back. Well, I think the mom, I think he's talking to the, I think the husband's talking to Angel, the girl, the wife or whatever. He's talking to Angel, and he's like, "Yeah, you really don't like Hancock, do you?" And, you know, she explains from her perspective why she don't, and it makes sense. Like, he a destructive asshole. So then Hancock comes back, And he starts working with Ray. You know, he comes back and he sees the boy. Well, before he starts working with Ray, he comes back. You know, he comes out of the atmosphere. He tears up the asphalt, and he's talking to them boys that are bullying Aaron are in the neighborhood, and they come up talking to asshole. I mean, Hancock. They come up talking to Hancock, and he's like, "Yeah, you're an asshole," you know. Cause I think he asks if anybody's bullying Aaron. He was like, "Yeah, that's me." He said, "Oh, so you're the one that's bullying him?" And he's like, "Yeah." He said, "You really shouldn't do that. You should really be nice and whatever." And then Brett calls him an asshole. The little kid calls him an asshole, and Hancock's like, "Say that shit one more time." And before he could even get that shit out his lips, bro, Hancock tossed him into the sky. Like, he up there. You know, then Ray comes out. He's like, "Yeah, Hancock, it's good to see you." And first thing he's wanting to do, he's wanting to grill him about the asphalt he tore up. He's like, "Yeah, man," he said, "this is the first thing I wanted to work with you on, your entrance." And as he's talking to him, Hancock's looking in the sky like, yep. He's hoping that Ray could turn around so he can catch him real quick, but that's not how it works. He just comes straight down, he catch him. And yeah, Ray's like, "Oh yeah." He said, "That's not good, man." He said, "Imagine what his parents are gonna say. Imagine the conversation with his parents." You know, so they get to talking, and he gets to showing them comic book heroes and shit, like how like superheroes are supposed to be. You know, he's showing him comic book heroes and shit, like Superman and Thor, but that's not who he showed him. You know, just some knockoff superheroes and shit. And he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna try to change your image." So he gets to showing Hancock all the shit he's like done over the years, like all the shit he saved and fucked up. Like he shows him a whale he picked up and threw onto a ship. He shows him like him going into a fire, saving the people, but he butt-ass naked and everybody can see him, and he don't care. He goes to an ice cream place and he just jump in front of the kids and he's like, "Hey, I need some ice cream." He's like, "Get that fucking camera off me." You know, he's just showing, he's like, yeah, you're an asshole, Hancock. Like, he's just showing them the evidence of his work throughout the years. It's like, yeah, you gotta change it up. So yeah, he's showing them all these videos and shit, and Hancock's like, well, Ray gets to just talking to him, man. He's like, he just gets to talking to him, trying to change his image and shit. You know, he's just trying to help him. So then we get to they're talking about Hancock on the news, right? They're trying to arrest him. Now, you know, they're trying to arrest him. They're trying to like get him to turn himself in, saying like, "You're not bigger than the law" and shit. Like, mind you, this is a whole fucking god. Like why would he do that? Like, why are y'all even doing this? This is a good example of like, no matter what's really going on in the Matrix, they're gonna keep the Matrix going. You know, like they're gonna like, you know, like right now, all types of shit's going on, but they're gonna keep this shit going until like the fucking the fucking ship sinks. You feel me? Like, they're gonna keep the whole rules going. They're never gonna let up. You feel me? Like, even when we get our abilities in real life, you feel me, they're gonna still act like they have jurisdiction over us, and like these laws still apply to us and shit. But the laws didn't apply to us before the Emancipation Proclamation. You feel me? We was just fucking warring with them for the land. You know, they like when we integrated with them, that's when all this shit started taking in play. You feel me? All the KKK and the Slave Patrol became cops and shit. All these organizations started to stop other black civil rights movements and organizations like the Black Panther and all that. You know, they started making forces to stop them. That's where the fucking FBI and CIA come from. You know, we never had none of this jurisdiction before we integrated with them. So they still don't have any jurisdiction over us. We're sovereign beings. You feel me? Like, you know, they're like tricking us with this shit. So that's what they're trying to do, trick Hancock. They're like, "Hey, man, we need you to come to jail." Like, there is no way that they can actually take him to jail. They know he can't stay in jail. He can do whatever fuck he wants. There's no jail that can hold him. He's a whole god, you know. So like, they're trying to like, you know, finesse this nigga into going to jail. And Ray ass gets to talking to him. He's like, "You know, you should do it." And Hancock's like, "You know, I'm not doing that shit." Like, he says, "Oh yeah, this DA's trying to arrest you or whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, bitch can try." And you know, he ain't going for that shit. You feel me? But yeah, Ray ends up talking him into it. He's like, "Hey, this is good for your image." He said, "If you turn yourself in, the crime rate is gonna go through the roof." you know, and they're gonna need you. You know, they're gonna need you and actually want you and call on you instead of you just, you know, being this unlikable person. You know, they're gonna come to like you. You know, so that's how he's trying to change his image. You know. So Hancock agrees because like deep down he fucking wants to be liked and loved. That's a big part of this shit. Like Hancock don't want to be an asshole. What's going on is he don't remember who he is, and that's causing him so much pain. You feel me? Like he doesn't want to be this person. Like, you know, he's just hurt and nobody can understand him. It's like we're gonna get into that though. Like he's hurt, you know. That's why he's doing this. That's why he's drinking and shit. He don't remember who he is. And so he doesn't really want to be known as a fucking bad person, you know. It's kind of like the Hulk in them Avenger movies, like when fucking Iron Man's fighting him with the Iron Hulk suit or whatever, and he's beating him up. He's not really beating the fucking Hulk up. It's like Hulk only stops, like, because Hulk was fucking him up. Hulk only stopped because he got to looking around at all these people that was scared of him. He's like, man, I don't want this. That's what Hancock's like. He's like, man, you don't really want to be known as a bad guy. You know, he wants to be known as a fucking superhero and be loved for it. You know, that's what he's wanting. So he agrees to that shit. You know, and he spends a lot of time in jail. Like, yeah, he spends. I don't know. I think it's just 2 weeks actually. I don't think he spends that long. But it makes you sing because it go through a whole montage of him helping him and talking him and prompting him in to say the cops doing a good job and wearing suits and shit. Like he gives him a whole super suit to wear, nigga, to change his image so he can look more like a superhero. You feel me? Like yeah, he's in jail. You know, it shows him like he could break out at any fucking moment he wants, but he's just going with the flow. He's trusting in Ray's vision. You feel me? And they end up calling Hancock. They end up calling him for some shit that's going on that they can't. That's just spiraling out of control. You feel me? They can't stop it. So they end up letting Hancock out. You feel me? He puts the suit on. He shaves his beard. You know, he's like sober now. So he goes in and he's been working on all his shit. Like he's been working on the landing and all that. So he comes in. They can see off rip he's changed a little bit just because they can see for a couple reasons. Like first off, he fucking does a slow landing and he doesn't destroy the ground. So they notice that. But the big thing is the fucking suit, nigga. Like he's got a fucking suit on, bro. Like it literally shows one of the officers. They pan the camera to the officer. He's like he's in disbelief. Like this nigga has a fucking suit on. Like he comes in. He's like, what you got? So they break down the situation. This nigga has fucking bombs on everybody. He has a dead switch detonator. Like if he takes his thumb off the switch, it automatically blows up. So like he's got his henchmen in there. They're having a standoff with the police. You feel me? The police shooting back at them. They're shooting, assault rifles and shit at them. You know, so they can't. It's a standoff. They can't get in. Nobody can get out. None of the hostages can get out. So Hancock, first thing he does is he goes out there and saves the officers that are in the line of fire that then got hurt. You feel me? He goes out, saves them. He picks up the car, uses to block bullets and shit, and he delivers the girl. You know, he talks to her real politely too. He's like, do I have permission to touch your body? Like all type of shit he would not do. We just seen this nigga harass a girl at the beginning of the movie. He made a full 360 change, you know. So he just really needed somebody to see him. You feel me? Like that's really, he had nobody. Everybody just didn't like him. Nobody knew his story. You feel me? Like, so yeah, Ray inspiring him like really helped him. It changed him. So yeah, he helps that cop, and then he takes the cop back to the to safety, to an ambulance, and the main chief of police, he's like, Hancock, I need you to end this right now. You know, so Hancock goes in there. He starts flying at fucking Mach speed, grabbing people out, you know, and it leaves the one dude with the bomb. So the dude tells him the situation. He's like, hey, you know, I got these niggas bombed up, nigga. I got them strapped up. I got the dead switch. He said, if my thumb comes off, boom. So Hancock knows the situation, and he's like, hey, since you done came in here and you done swooped up my men, I'm gonna need you to open this safe, nigga. I'm gonna need you to bust this bitch open and take all that money out and fly me away. You feel me? Like, he's like, man, and that represents like what we do. Like, bro, they use us for a lot of shit, man. Like, they use us to, if they see us unlocking our DEA, they'll use that shit for entertainment, man. And then they use us to get access codes to certain pyramids and ships and shit. They use us to entertain us. They use our abilities, nigga. That's the abilities to sit there and entertain somebody like that. That's some of like the abilities, that's just our natural charisma that comes with our soul and shit. You feel me? We have magnetism, so we can attract people to us. They use that, you feel me? They'll use us against us, you feel me? Like when we had these movements and shit, they would have some people go in and like, act like they us but be against us, like Uncle Tom's and shit. They be using us against us like all types of ways, you feel me? They use the Moors to build up cathedrals and shit and then warred with them, you feel me? Like, the Moors was us, so like they've always used us. They used us to build all this shit, like in slavery, the ones that did get caught, because we weren't really enslaved. Those were captured warriors from these from when we was warring with them in tribal states, y'all. Like the Gola Wars, the French and Indian Wars, the Seminole Wars, all these are us, nigga. We didn't come from Africa. We've been on America the whole time, warring with them for the land, So us here, everybody that's here has been here. And then the guys in Africa, because there was gods all over the planet. There was black people on every part of the land, you feel me? And they conquered them and named them different shit. Now we don't know that we are still those Africans. Like, this land was all Atlantis, you feel me? Like, they have us all split up because we're not fucking African Americans. We're guys, like, but we literally, that's a new label that they have for us. Black and Latino, all this shit, these are new labels. They divided and conquered us. So those Haitians and those Puerto Ricans, those Dominicans, those Cubans, anybody that has this DEA, this 9-ether that grows this type of ether and shit, you feel me? Like, those are all gods, we just forgot who we were through social engineering and shit, But yeah, that just represents, like, him trying to use Hancock to open the safe just represents how they would use us to against us. Or just use our abilities for their own will, you feel me? So, yeah, Hancock's not with that shit. So he tells him, he's like, he said, nah, I don't think so. And then he's like, man, do you not understand that situation, you asshole? And that pisses Hancock off. He fucking, he has this little lampshade, this metal lampshade. He flattens it and turns it into a fucking throwing blade, and he cuts the dude's arm off so that way his nerves are still holding the fucking trigger intact. And then he gives that to the chief, and chief is like, he tells the chief, good job. He's like, nah, you good job, Hancock. And then everybody applauds him, and he's never had that before, you feel me? So like he's feeling that shit now. So they immediately start fucking with him now, and he's feeling good about himself. Like Ray, he's the one marketing Hancock, so he gets paid from this shit. Now everybody wants to market Hancock. Now everybody wants to listen to Ray because he's the one marketing him. He's like, okay, so he's using Hancock to market his heart thing, like whatever I don't remember what it's called. It's like some slogan that he wants everywhere in the world. Like, he wants the slogan to represent like peace, you feel me? Like, so he's using Hancock to sponsor that, so everybody wants in on it now. So like, you feel me? Ray succeeds, Hancock succeeds, everybody's happy. They go out for dinner, and he starts asking Hancock, like, all right, so like, who the fuck are you, fam? Like, how'd you get here? Did you come? He thinks Hancock came from another planet, like Superman, you feel me? He's like, so yeah, you're an alien from another planet, right? I mean, now this represents the fact that he actually fucking is. The gods are from Sirius X, so technically we are. But the human beings are from Nern in the 6th universe, so technically they are too. Like, ain't nobody really natural to this planet except elemental beings. Even the animals, we brought them from different star systems and shit. Like, when you're looking at the Lyrans, we got them from, the cats, we got them from the Lyrans. We got the, all these plants and animals, we got them from different, like, star systems and planets and shit, you feel me? Like, we brought them over here through portals to build this planet up, So, they know who we are, so like, they just be putting that shit in the movie. He's like, yeah, so are you an alien from another planet? He's like, nah, nigga, I'm from Miami, nigga. And he's like, what? And he's like, yeah, 80 years ago, he woke up with these abilities, and dude's like 80 years. That's way older than Ray. You feel me? Like, he's like, damn, you been around forever. He's like, yeah, I don't age, because he don't look 80. You know, he's like, yeah, I don't age. So yeah, he's like finding out, and he's like, yeah, what's your story? So Hancock tells him, he's like, man, I don't know who I am. And he says that word for word. He's like, I don't know who I am. And that's crazy. He's like, bro, this nigga don't know who the fuck he is. He a fucking superhero, nigga. Like, he don't know who he is. That's crazy as fuck. Like, he don't know how he got these abilities or nothing. He say he just he had a fractured skull and he was in the hospital. He said, I guess I was a normal guy before that, and I just got my abilities then. She tried to stick a needle in my arm, and it broke against my skin, and my fracture healed within an hour. They said it was a miracle. And then from then on, he's just been Hancock, you feel me? But this is where he gets to say, like, why he's so sad and shit. He's like, man, he said, I don't know what type of bastard I must have been for nobody to come and claim me. He said, like, nobody showed up for him, like, to tell him who he is or any of that, like, you know. So that's why he's so sad. That's why he's an alcoholic. That's why he does this. Like, he thinks nobody gives a fuck. And then the way they react to his abilities and shit, nobody, like, likes him. So he's really actually a sad alcoholic, like, just like other sad alcoholics, except this nigga has abilities and shit, you feel me? But he's still trying to do the right thing, you know, regardless of, like, what it looks like and how bad of a job he does. His spirit's in the right heart, you feel me? I mean, in the right place. So yeah, they you know, and the girl, you can tell, like, she, you know, she's just listening to him, you know, and she's getting teary-eyed and shit, because she knows who he is. Like, we're gonna get into that. So he goes and takes them home, and he takes Ray upstairs and you know, tucks him in. He's like, yeah, Ray was like, yeah, you believe in me, Hancock? And he's like, yeah, Ray, I believe in you. He said, because I believe in you. You know, this all just, like, makes Hancock feel like a fucking person for once, you know. So you know, he goes downstairs, and the wife's still awake down there, so he's talking to her. But this whole time, you can tell, like, they've been, like, looking at each other. Like, Hancock knows her from somewhere. He doesn't remember, but he feels a connection to her. Like, so he gets to easing in. You know, he's talking to her. She feels connected to him, too. She's easing in, too. And then they kiss, and then she fucking throws this nigga out the fucking wall, like, of the house. Like, throws this nigga clean through, like, the refrigerator, all that. Leaves a ginormous hole in the wall. The nigga slams into a car. She flies up. She's like, if you tell anybody about me, I'm gonna kill you, or you're dead. That's what she said. She said, if you tell anybody about me, you're dead. So yeah, Hancock is like, what the absolute fuck, fam? You know, that shit completely just throws him for a loop, right? And then so the next day, the wife's in the kitchen. I think she's cooking or cleaning or something. Ray comes in there, you know, he's still half asleep, probably hungover. And he's you know, he's like, hey, honey. And he fucking looks to the left, and the fucking hole is just like, this is massive hole in his fucking wall. He's like, well, what the fuck happened here? And she's like, yeah, Hancock sneezed. And he's like, oh, Hancock sneezed, huh? And, you know, that's believable. He's like, well, shit, nigga probably can do whatever. Nigga, he probably sneeze, he probably fart holes in my house. Nigga, yeah, he's a god, nigga. But they call him a superhero. So, yeah, so Hancock flies in. He goes through the hole in the wall. He's like, hey, what's up, everybody? And, you know, Ray gets a phone call, so he's on the phone. But Hancock's over there, you know, you got to see what's to this bitch now. Like, you just did some whole other shit. So now, he's over here pressing forks against her skin and shit, and smacking her with fucking cake batters, or, you know, that shit you flatten cakes with, whatever that shit is. He's smacking that shit against her head, you know, just smacking shit across her and poking her with shit. And it's making a lot of noise. And he's like, hey, if you want me to stop, you finna tell me what the fuck's going on. Because he's basically threatening her identity with Ray. Like, hey, I'm gonna tell on you. So yeah, he picks up 2 pans. He's about to smack her shit. But she's like, all right. And she said, I'll talk. And he's like, my house at 4 o'clock. Mosquito. He's like, my house at 4 o'clock. So, you know, 4 o'clock comes, she pulls up, and she's talking to Hancock. She's like, ask. Like, just ask me whatever question you got. And he says, what are we? She says, gods, angels, different cultures call us different things. Now, all of a sudden, we're superheroes. And that's exactly what the fuck I've been trying to tell y'all. Like that's why Hancock's so important, because like they just straight up tell you. And the fact that he's black, but the reason why she's white is because they're representing our, when we integrated with them. That's like, because I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, that's why, like, when they're together, he gets weakened. We're not supposed to be in this system. Like, when they're sitting here, well, ever since we integrated with them, we've been getting weakened and fucking brainwashed into thinking that we're humans. That isn't that what happens when them two are together? They turn into humans and die. Like, now now human beings are not gods. They don't have any of these abilities, you know. So, like, you know, that's just them whitewashing shit. But, like, that's the reason why they gave it that weakness, because we don't have that weakness. We're when a god and a goddess are together, nothing can stop them. We're completely strong. That's the divine feminine and divine masculine merging together, dark matter energy from which we came. You know, that's when we're at our absolute strongest. Like, if you look at Alien X, doesn't he have to get the fucking yes from his council, which is a divine feminine and divine masculine deities? Like, once they come together, he can do anything he wants. You can do anything. It's as strong as Alien. He can do literally fucking anything. You know, that's what the point is. He's like, hey, I can do anything. Alien, I'm talking about Alien X now from Ben 10. I can do anything, but they have to agree on it. But then once they agree, it's a game over. Like, you know, we win. So, yeah, that's like what that represents. You feel me? Like, the divine masculine, divine feminine, when they come together, there's absolutely nothing can stop them. Nothing in this matrix can stop them. You know, yeah, I'm talking about the divine feminine, divine masculine, not a nigga and a bitch, not what they socially injured. You have to know your divinity. That's how you rise out of this shit. And to get the two of you together, nothing can stop y'all. You know, you know, her, and she be like, well, because the next thing she says, we're the same. She's like, no, I'm way stronger. Like, that's what she said. I'm way stronger. And the reason why is because the divine feminine is way stronger. That's like the original energy. It's the first. Everything came from divine feminine. So, like, you know, they are first and they're way stronger than us. You feel me? Like, they gave us because the goddesses created the gods, you know, like, and then we created everything else together. Like, so, that just represents how strong our goddesses are, and females in general. Like, like, feminine energy is very, very powerful. You know, that's why they do so much to try to destroy it and make it seem less than. You feel me? They didn't used to let women vote or nothing because they don't believe in that power. We as gods, now that was the human beings. They didn't let their women vote, and they didn't let us vote at all. So that's what we got together to fight for them rights together. But, you know, we've never had that issue. We've always respected our goddesses, you feel me? Like, in all of our ancient cultures, you feel me, the goddess is like the main diplomat, and we just listen to what she says, you feel me? They dictate how things run, and we, you know, they set the rule, and we, you know, enforce it, you feel me? That's how it's always been, and that's how we are at our full essence, you know? So yeah, like, that's why she's sitting there saying, like, I'm way stronger and shit. And he said, what are we to each other? And she says brother and sister. He automatically knows that's a lie. He's been feeling connected to her the whole time, and they just kissed. So he's like, you know, brothers and sisters don't kiss or nothing. So like, he said, you lying. He said, deal's off, I'm telling Ray. He flies off, and then she flies after him. You know, and that shit sets her the fuck off. Like, because, you know, she loves Ray. So, like, she gets to going crazy. And that's her thing. She don't like being called crazy. You feel me? The truth hurts. Her ass is crazy. You feel me? So her ass is like literally just they destroying hella shit together. You feel me? Like, she's like, Berlin, Germany, Spain. She's like, no matter where I go, you always come and fuck shit up. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, because he forgot all this shit. You feel me? Yeah, yeah, they get into it, bro. She slams him with a truck, and like, they just get to fighting, and just their energy has like the fucking weather acting up and shit. So like, they're just destroying hella shit. You feel me? All up to the point where he fucking pins her down. He's like, hey, I'm sorry. He's like, whatever I did to you, I'm sorry. And it calms her down. But she looks up, and Ray's sitting there in a torn up building. He got a clear view of the shit, because they done swiped across it. Like, it's just completely open. So he's just looking at that shit like, what the fuck? So he drives home, and then her ass flies. Like, and he sees her flying. He's like, you were flying. Why were you flying? and she's trying to explain shit. She just gets to breaking shit down to Ray. She's like, I forgot what she says, but she's like, yeah, I can't help, or he can't help it. Like, I've tried to stay away from him wherever I go. He follows because we're connected. We're bound to each other. And Will's like, Hancock's like, you didn't tell me all that. And she gets to explaining shit. She's like, this is actually my husband. Because he's like, the dude, Ray, he's like, well, I'm your husband. You don't think I should know? Because, she didn't tell Hancock this shit. He's like, so you've known me this whole time and you just had me thinking I was alone on the planet? Just the only one with these abilities? Because, like, that's the whole reason he was a shitty hero. Because she didn't come and just, like, tell him what's up. So, he's like, you don't think I deserve to know this? And then Ray's like, you don't think I deserve to know this as your husband? And she's like, technically, he's my husband. And that just blows his mind. She's like, yeah, he just doesn't remember, So, trying to remember what happens next. Because they all end up at the hospital and shit. I don't really remember how they end up in the hospital. Well, Hancock gets shot. Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, I think Hancock just had enough of that bullshit, so he left. He's feeling bummed out. He finds out who he is, like, a little bit. He don't really know all the way, but he finds out, like, well, he does find out who he is. He knows he's a god now. He's like a god or an angel. Like, he came down here with her as a pair. That's what she ends up telling him, like, we're paired together, and the other ones died. Because when they pair together, they become immortal and die, but she didn't tell him that at that time. She tells him that in the hospital. So Hancock goes to a gas station. And he regrets. He's getting some beer. That's what happens. Like, that immediately makes him regress again. He's trying to get some beer. All that good shit he was doing, he's trying to get some beer now. And some of the nigga from the bank robbery, the main dude that he cut the arm off, he done had a whole plot with some niggas in the jail. And they escaped prison. So they set up Hancock. They set him up. They set him up, and they're in the gas station underneath the cashier's desk. And the cashier, he's got, this nigga hits him with the $91.10 for a fucking candy bar. He's like, man, you out your mind. And he's like, nope, $91.10. And then he covers up the zero and it says 911. And he looks down. And Hancock's like, oh, I get it. And he's not even in the mood for this shit. Like, his feelings is hurt. So he picks the nigga up, throws him into the fucking wall very hard. Like, that nigga probably did not survive. Then the other nigga gets up and he holds the nigga at gunpoint. He's like, hey, I'm gonna shoot one of y'all niggas. And he's like, hey, so he gives him a pep talk. He said, you have the power, so you think you can do this, but can you do it? So this nigga picks up a candy bar and he said, my candy bar versus your gun. Let's see who wins. The nigga shoots him twice. He shoots Hancock twice, and then Hancock kills him with a candy bar. I'm pretty sure he kills him. Because, like, I think he kills him with that fucking candy bar. Meaning he is very fucking strong. Like, don't let the shit these niggas do, go over y'all head. This is the abilities of us. Like, especially when they're showing you Hancock, Superman. Like, remember, Superman was the first ever superhero. So, like, that's all those abilities is our abilities. Like, the whole fucking god race has these abilities. That's what the Viltrumites is about. They're all like Superman, and they're in a world with other superheroes and shit. But when they're around, nothing can stop Invincible. Nothing can stop Omni-Man. You feel me? And then their hierarchy just go up. And then Thrag's a super god, nigga. Goku, like, in the Super Saiyans, you feel me? The whole planet has all the same abilities, you feel me? But some of them are stronger than the others. That's like literally how we're set up. And we are the ones that's stronger than the others. When you looking at us, remember I was telling you Men in Black, we police the cosmos? That's what we do. Our whole race doesn't do that. We come from Sirius X. Like, we're the spiritual assassins. We came here to build up this planet to be a dojo because we're already warring with the reptilians and shit. So, like, we're setting up this dojo. We have all the strongest guys here. Like, the warrior guys. Like, we're the fucking high-class warrior guys of the Anunnaki. You feel me? Like, we have all types of different guys that do different shit, but like that's what we do. We're the spiritual assassins. Like, we're like Predator. Like, we go and we're the top dog alien race or whatever the fuck they were trying to say. Like, we hunt aliens down. We do, nigga. Like, in our essence, that we got fucking bamboozled and hoodwinked, nigga, and fell in frequency. when Zeus warred with us. So and when the human beings came and warred with us, that's when we fell in frequency. You know, when we warred with Zeus, he left the planet, or he got kicked off the planet, and he went to the sixth universe and made the human beings on Nern. And then he gave them technology to come and fight us. You feel me? And then they warred with us, and that's how we really fell in frequency. They knocked the second sun out of the sky and did all types of shit, put oxygen in the air, rushed out our carbon, and they just, the works. They cut down the pyramids, and they decapped the pyramids and cut down the mountains, which are the trees. So like they blew up our crystal towers. They really went to war with us. So we get back to Hancock. He gets shot. So he takes out the bad guys, but his ass go down because he got shot twice. So the cashier calls the police, or calls the ambulance. So now Hancock's in the hospital, and the girl comes and visits him. Angel comes and visits him, and she like actually spills the beans now. She's like, yeah, when we pair up, we die. She's like, it ain't just that, we got into it. You said, you're different from us. You actually like to save the humans. So like we kind of like elected you out of all of our race to stay here and protect the earth. It's because that's your actual will. Like, you like to do that. Now, it's us, nigga, like, because I told you the other guys and shit, they don't do that shit. Like, they don't go to other planets and save them. Like, we like to do that shit. We train to do that. That's like what we do. The 144,000 that came here and multiplied to every god here, that's what we do. You feel me? This planet itself is a very advanced planet. You feel me? Only, like, the warriors and, people trying to really learn shit, because we had schools and shit here too, but this was like a warrior planet, more so, and way more so. That's like what this planet's about. You feel me? And all the guys here now are just straight warriors that don't remember. That's why we're so chaotic with each other and shit, because they've reversed the energy. You feel me? It had us fighting each other. So she's explaining to Hancock, like, yeah, the whole point of us coming in pairs is so that we can actually die. Like, we can have human experiences. You feel me? That's just what they made for the movie. The guys don't pair up and die or nothing like that. You feel me? They pair up and do the amazing. You feel me? You don't even know, like, the power of the god and the goddess when they come together on that like mind. They do whatever they can to fucking keep them split up, and keep them in disagreements. Like, they're doing whatever they can for that to happen, because we fuck shit up like that. You feel me? We're like undefeatable like that. So they just infiltrated that too. They infiltrate everything. That's the only way they can beat us, is from the inside out. So yeah, she like spills the beans. She tells him, she starts showing him all these scars, like, of all the times, because this is why they broke up, because like they would always come for Hancock, because this nigga's like always saving the planet and shit. So they would always come for Hancock through her. Like, they would use her as a weakness for him. And that's exactly what happens this time. Like, they use her as a weakness. They're shooting her up and shit. They got her like, they shooting her up and it's affecting him. They shooting him up and it's affecting her. They're connected, like, empathically. So, yeah, she says that, but she's showing all the scars on his arms and shit. Like, these are different scars from him in human state, protecting her. Like, meaning in any state, you've always been the protection. And that's what we are. We protect. Then she said, didn't the bitch say she was stronger than him? So why is he protecting her? Because, like, that's the essence of the guys. Like, even, like, no, even in real lifetime, like, even though the guys are the goddesses are really stronger than us, we'd still protect them, and they look to that protection. That's our job, to protect them, and that's what we do, even in this state. Like, even in our human states, we protect them, we used to, we should, we still do, some of us, but, that's like what we do in our essence. We protect them no matter what. Like, she said, they came at me with swords and at this time, and that's what this scar is, and you killed them all and saved me or something. They burnt our house down. She showed him a burn on his arm. They burnt our house down. You pulled me out of the fire. Like, and yeah, she's like a damsel in distress in her human state, So she really loves him. She really loves him. I don't know why she was acting. I guess she's just crazy, nigga. Like, But yeah, so you know, he gets his realization of who he is. He's like, oh, I'm not just a protector of you. I'm a protector of everything. Like he's already been doing. Like even in his lowest state, you seen he was still trying to help. You know, the best way he could. You know, and that's his lowest state. You know, he don't even know the fuck he is, and he's still helping the humans and shit, and just taking all this shit from him. Like that's what he do. You know, while the other ones pair up and die, they elected him to like, hey, you're gonna save the planet since this is what you like to do. You know, that's what she says in the movie. She said the other gods like wanted you to do that. You know, so yeah, so he has his final showdown with all these people, right? Like they come up and shoot the girl, and he still has enough ability to like fight them off and shit. But they're like hurting him slowly but surely, you know, and then he ends up getting shot some more. So you know, he gets shot up and shit. And then the nigga like he pass out, like both of their heartbeats, you know, go to they flatline. But this nigga powers himself back up just because that's who he is. That's his willpower. You know, he powers himself back up after death. Like he literally died and fucking he's like, nah, I ain't going for this shit, fam. I'm gonna save her again. So like you know, he gets enough space, he busts out the building and he gets enough space and he flies away. You know, the other dude, like right before that, the main dude, you know, he got him at gunpoint. And he's like, yeah, he said, you know, no matter how amazing you are, Hancock, you know, you're still just like the rest of us. You know, he's shooting them and shit. He's like, you know, everybody's got their time. You know, it's what they be thinking about us guys. Like, you know, you're just like the rest of us. You got your time too. You know, he's just monologuing. But it's really deep. I'll let you guys go and watch what he's saying. Y'all need to actually go and watch that movie. You know, especially the guys. Y'all need to go watch that and remember who y'all are. Like, this type of shit awakens you. You know? So, yeah, he's like, yeah, we all fall, Hancock. But not his ass. Like, because he's... Like, even when the nigga killed him, he killed him pretty much. He's like, oh, you can't kill us. Like, because you can't defeat the guys. No matter what we go through. He went through all that, right? He went through all that. And he died. Nigga empowered himself back up. And fucking Ray cut the nigga's arm off. The second arm. Because Will already cut the first arm off earlier when he was robbing the bank. So he cuts his arm off, you know. And knocks him out with the axe. Or kills him. Ray, he either kills him or knocks him out with the axe. But Hancock, he starts getting some space. And he's good. And the movie cuts to 5 years later or something, you know. Hancock, he's good with knowing who he is. He don't fucking need the girl. Like, he don't even really remember her. You know, they were connected, but now that he knows, he can actually, like, just be okay with that. All he really wanted to do, because that's what his fucking sole purpose was, to help the human beings, like, to help the planet and help everybody. You feel me? Yeah. You know, it's just to help everything, you know? And it also just represents how, like, him going to jail, so like, because it shows the eagle a lot, and the eagle is like freedom, you know. The eagle represents freedom in this case, like, because Hancock like is a whole fucking god, like, but he was like letting them entrap him and shit. Like, they like at one point, like when they were playing basketball, the fucking basketball flies out of the fucking fence, the prison fence, and this nigga just jumps 30,000 feet in the air and then drops down, and he's looking at the open land, you know. He's like, man, I'm a motherfucking eagle, dog. Like, I don't have to take this shit. I'm a free being. You know, I can, at any point in time, I could just, you know, but he's trying to, like, you know, he's trying to appease the humans. You know, that kind of represents us. We're trying to appease the humans and not our own divinity. How about the humans accept our divinity for what it is? You feel me? You know, like, you know, shit like that. Like, but the eagle represents, like, Hancock wanting to be free from, like, his fucking, because, like, the truth sets him free. Like, he didn't know the truth. He didn't know who the fuck he was. Like, until she finally told him who he was, he's actually able to be free. Like, you know, he was actually able to fly, nigga. So this nigga, like, he has a pet eagle now. Like, you know, he has a pet eagle, and the eagles are also the dragons. You feel me? We were like, we were hand in hand with the dragons. You feel me? Like, think of like How to Tame Your Dragon. There was nothing but fucking dragons, animals, like, but the dragons, like, we were really in tune with, that's exactly, well, we was in tune with all natural life, like Tarzan and shit, but like the dragons we had special connections with, you feel me? Like we would ride them, we would use them to protect us, like, and they when we fell down in frequency and became this, they fell down in frequency and became birds, eagles and hawks and shit. You feel me? Not all the little birds. Some of those are bioengineered drones. You feel me? Like, just to watch y'all for this rise that's about to happen. But the fucking eagles, hawks, and some of the vultures, those are actual dragons that fell in frequency. You feel me? They just don't tell us because they know all this shit. I'm telling y'all, they know this shit. You know. But yeah. So that also represents that, because Hancock is a god. Like, remember they told you Hancock was a god and an angel, because we are both. Just like they named us this shit, you feel me? You know, they named us, like, we just were what we were, you feel me? Like, they named us all this shit. They named us an Anunnaki gods and fucking angels when they were watching us. Like, all that shit means certain shit. Like, you know, that's just the names they gave us. You feel me? Superheroes, like, that's the name they call us. Like, that's what she said, didn't it? Like, oh, they call us superheroes now. But, like, you can call us gods, you can call us angels. And if you look up what Hancock is, they're going to tell you he's an unknown species of, like, immortal beings. Like, that's what fuck we were until they got to making this shit known. Like, we knew all already. We just was what we were. We didn't have to do none of that. They the ones that marveled at us and make these Marvel movies, you feel me? Like, that's the type of shit they wrote down, you feel me? Like, we didn't have to do any of that. Like, you know, we just was what we were and we did what we did. You know, like, that can go over a lot of people's heads, but that's just what it is, you know? So, you know, like, they called us angels too, and some of us did have wings and shit. You know, we had other shit going on with us. We look different too, you know, like, in our highest essence, you know, at source, which we're all finna go back to, you feel me? We're all gonna shift back into who we are originally at, you know, any point now, for real. Like, we already there, y'all might be laughing, nigga. They already done released who Zeus's side was on the news. They already telling you about these extraterrestrials. They already, like, releasing UFO footage and shit. You know, they're releasing AI so that you guys don't know what's real or what's fake, because our ancestors is posting online too, nigga. Remember, like, there is no difference between us and them, you feel me? Like, I gotta get this, like, gods and because they are just as above, so below. They are just like us. They can descend down here, but they'll have full memory, nigga, and they'll get on the damn internet and post shit, nigga. Like, it is really that damn deep, y'all. You know, it's that deep, man. Like, so that's why, like, they gotta put this AI shit out, nigga. So because a lot of truth is gonna start appearing, and then people are just gonna start seeing shit. Like, the mermaids and shit are resurfacing because we're rising in frequency. So you're gonna start seeing shit. They're gonna start seeing fairies and gnomes and trolls and werewolves and all this shit. You're gonna start seeing that shit on camera, nigga. Like, so they gotta AI this shit. So they making AI so good you can't even tell. Well, you think they already had it so good. They're just, like, putting out shitty versions to make it look like it's something new. It's not nothing new, you feel me? Like, AI's been around, you know? Artificial intelligence has been a thing for a long fucking time. They're just releasing it to us for this moment in time right now, you know? So, yeah, they're wanting to, like, confuse you, because they're gonna be showing a lot of ships and shit, like, and there's gonna be fucking Anunnaki ships, and it's gonna be our side. It's gonna be the Galactic Federation and shit like that, you know. And they want you to think they're gonna want you to think it's something evil. So, like, they're gonna, you know, AI it, and, you know, or fake. They want you to either think it's fake or evil, because they're gonna do a fake alien invasion. That's what's gonna make you think it's evil. They're gonna be blowing shit up with their spaceships and shit to make you scared. Because, you know, just like fucking Avengers Endgame or Infinity War, where all them fucking portals opened up and all them ships started coming in, you feel me? That's exactly what's gonna happen, y'all. They're just waiting on that Endgame, that one point. Like, nigga, that's all about what's going on. Doctor Strange, like, you got one time, nigga. That's what the fuck is going on here. Like, they're setting up, nigga. Did you see all, like, Captain America thought he was gonna fight the whole army by himself, nigga, and then As soon that represents us guys, like thinking we're gonna have to keep fighting them by ourselves. Nah, like the whole planet is with you, fam. You know, when it is time, these motherfuckers gonna come out for you. You feel me? They've already, like, if you tapped in and they really trying to fuck with you and you really on that righteous shit and you decide to fight them back, the whole planet is with you, fam. Like Simeon Toko, like, you know, he fucking had all type of fucking primordial beings come out of the sky. The sky opened up and angels and cherubim and shit came out the sky to help him. You know, this shit realer than real, y'all. You know, it's realer than real. Y'all gotta look into history, look into who we are as people. Like, we're the magical superhero beings they be talking about, nigga. We won the whole Haitian Revolution with magic, nigga. You know? Yeah, like this voodoo and hoodoo shit, but they infiltrate it and make you think it's evil, nigga. Like, ain't nothing evil about what we do. You feel me? We don't do the blood magic they do. They just took our shit and then put the shit out they want, and we be thinking, oh, let's read this hoodoo book, and it's telling you all type of fuck shit, like blood magic and shit. We don't do none of that. They do all that blood shit, you feel me? Because they worship Zeus, nigga. They worship Satan, who created them. So, like, you know, but yeah, this nigga gets to drawing that heart on the moon, you know, and that's how the movie ends, you know. That's how it ends. You know, the girl, she's split up from him, so she's happy being a human being, content. You know, she's happy doing what she do, and Hancock's happy doing what he do with his full knowledge of divinity and who he is. Now he knows. He didn't know he was a god. You know, he didn't know what the fuck was up with him. Just like us, nigga, we don't know what the fuck's up with us. We just know, like, something's up. Nigga, I'm telling y'all are gods, nigga. Whether you want to believe it or not, whether, you know, I can't convince you or not, nigga. Like, you know this shit at heart. You can feel this shit, you know. That's why you guys listen to me. You guys are connected to this knowledge. You know, you are attracted to it. Y'all soul has magnetism, and I'm saying something high frequency that you resonate with, so your soul is attracted to it. You know, I don't have to explain everything right now, you know. So, you know, all you guys need to do, if you guys have any questions, is to ask Source for insight, and that's what exactly will happen. Source will give you insight. You know, you need to be meditating and shit so you can get your own insight. You don't need nobody to tell you any of these things. You don't need a book. You don't need a teacher. You don't need none of that, y'all. Y'all just need yourselves. You are the power that you seek, you know. So that's pretty much it for this one, you guys. Like, the main takeaways, like, man, we are gods and we don't know who we are. So, like, we're acting out. Like, all of this shit that's going on with us, you know, all of this dissension amongst the community is because we don't know who we are. Let us know that, like, we were all connected and our divinity and what all we've done. You know, we start changing around here, you know. Like, they've done everything in their power to separate us from that knowledge, to disconnect us from source, you feel me? Like, that's what religion and all that shit was about, just to disconnect you from source, you feel me? Sex, money, food, food, you know, all that shit is spells, time, all that shit is spells to disconnect you from your true self. This whole matrix and this work shit, nigga, like, you feel me? The way we work and shit, Henry Ford set that up right after we got out of slavery, to work this work week, you feel me? This 9 to 5. So, like, we're just working all the time, you know, and not ever having time to slow down and connect with self, you feel me? You know, so, like, they set up all this shit, fam. We're the only ones sleeping. They keep us dumbed down so that you can't figure this shit out, because you have all the answers within, you know. Like, remember I said integrating weaken us. Like, when they're teaching us this bullshit in school, nigga, y'all know this shit ain't y'all history. They don't tell us real history in school, nigga. They have you thinking that you're less than, and they don't tell us that we created everything. They tell you Thomas Edison made this and got the patent from a slave, and this and that and this and that. They don't really tell you the real history, nigga. They're telling you this conquered, dumbed down history to keep you conquered and dumbed down, y'all. Like, this is a real shit. They done social engineered us. So, like, that with tricknology, the shit that Zeus gave them, this is all tricknology. We didn't know they were gonna do this to us when we integrated. We thought, like, because they waved the white flag, niggas, we was gonna free ourselves with the Gola Wars, bruh. But, like, we still had a little bit. When I say we was about to free ourselves, we still had a long way to go, but we made a long jump in the war, you feel me? We done freed a lot of us. and we was almost there. But then they waved the white flag because they're, you know, they have that technology about them. They like, all right, let's do this instead. And they just transferred slavery into another way. They didn't tell us that they were going to keep, you know, doing this fuck shit. You feel me? They didn't tell us they were going to make laws against us and have us learning bullshit in school and then feeding us poison food. Like, we thought shit was going to be okay, you know? So that's why we merged into their society. And that shit, what it do when Will Smith merged with the white girl, nigga, that shit completely destroys you on a genetic level, on a physical level, on a mental level. Now everybody's fucked up and we don't know who we are and we don't have no unity. You feel me? That's what that did. We thought like the war was gonna be over, but no, the war just begun. The real war that's on our fucking genetics too, nigga. Like, they're vaccinating us because of our genetics. That shit locks your genetics up, nigga. You feel me? It makes you something that you're not. You feel me? Like, that's what they do. They made all like AIDS, STDs. They made all of that shit as an attack to us. You feel me? Like, now they just get down on us in a whole completely different way than just a straightforward fight because they knew they couldn't beat us like that. You feel me? You know? So that's where we stand. You know, now we're rising though. We're in the age of Aquarius and all this shit is over with. There's gonna be a lot of people coming out with information, channel this out from ancestors of like what you guys need to do. You feel me? You guys don't need to be in no low frequencies, right? Because that stops you from learning information like fear, lust, worry, doubt, regret. You know, all that shit keeps you, sadness, all that shit keeps you in a low frequency. You need to be on the high frequencies. Love is the highest frequency. Happiness, you need to be loving and happiness and have understanding from all things. You feel me? That's what meditation and shadow work is about, healing yourself. You know, you're never gonna really get this shit until you start meditating. That's what really opens you up to higher channels of frequency. You feel me? You know, source is within us. We be sitting here talking about source don't talk to us. Source talks to you all the time. You just don't listen. You're listening to these negative thoughts. Source is the positive thoughts. It's all these positive things. You feel me? You saying that you can do all and then standing on that shit. You feel me? All this positivity. You feel me? That's all source. All this other shit is shit they programmed into us. You feel me? Like, we don't have negative thoughts originally. Shit, we don't have thoughts at all. That's why when you stop talking and you keep hearing thoughts, like when I'm saying that, don't let that go over your head. Like, you can literally stop talking right now and say, hey, I'm gonna stop thinking. But nigga, the thoughts are just gonna keep coming, even though you're not talking. So who the fuck is that? You feel me? These are your fucking, that's your court, your angelic court, your fucking cosmic court. You feel me? It's all these cosmic beings inside you channeling messages into you. You feel me? Whatever messages they can get through because of the frequency you're on. If you're on a high frequency, they can't give you too many messages. You feel me? They can only meet you on the level that you're at. You gotta like rise up in frequency and in consciousness to understand this shit on a deeper level. You know, that's why you can't just wake up anybody. You feel me? Like, especially people in low frequencies, they're not gonna hear you. They're just gonna, like, you're just gonna be talking and they're not gonna be understanding you. That's what fucking Courage the Cowardly Dog's about. Like, a high vibrational person is trying to warn people about the shit that come. Muriel, monsters. But Muriel can't hear him. Like, you know, she ain't on the frequency Courage is. You feel me? Fucking teacher and Snoopy, like, the teacher's talking, but that shit ain't resonating with them because, like, it's on a high frequency. You feel me? Like, that's what that shit's about. You literally can't hear that shit. Like, a lot of people can't hear what I'm saying, you know, because it's just, they're not on the frequency. You know, those that can, you know, you got to remember that and then stay on a high frequency so that you can get the nutrients you need for your soul and move how you need to. You need to be moving on regarding to your soul purpose, what you're actually supposed to be doing here on the planet. You're not supposed to be just listening and going with everybody else's flow. You feel me? You have your own flow. You have your own beat. You have your own mind. You have your own essence to you that the planet needs. She needs everybody to be who they are so that they can do what they must. You know, like, it's that deep, y'all. For the high vibrational people, you know, y'all have a whole different mission than some sleep people. Not everybody's gonna wake up. Some people are just here to go through this fucking matrix, and it's a prison sentence for them for karma that they did. That, you know, that's real too, you know. But we're gonna end off on that note. You know, peace, and make sure you guys watch Hancock, you know, and then meditate on it, you know. But we're out of here, y'all. Love.